Okay. Hello. Welcome. Let me swap the banner off. Hello. Happy Wednesday. It has been a whirlwind of a 2 days. 2 days-ish. Monday, after I left y'all, I ran around town, went to a Lowe's, went to Costco, went to a Walmart, and came back, had dinner, then went back to a Walmart. Essentially, I went to Lowe's first. I went to go get the mulch and pine straw and stuff for putting in the 2 new river birches, and then also putting some mulch around my weeping willow tree because I had not done that last year. So I did that. But then I also wanted to go to Costco because I know they have currently like a gardening section out front. And I was hoping that maybe they would have some of the azaleas or the double knockout roses for like a really, really good price. Their price was for the knockout roses was about $2 cheaper for a gallon pot of the double knockout roses. And they did not have any azaleas in. Apparently they are supposed to be getting azaleas in the 27th. Which is tomorrow. But I don't know that I will go back for a $2 difference, especially since Walmart has azaleas in 1 gallon buckets for $15. And they had a decent array of like a couple colors to choose from. They also had some like 2.5 quart in other colors, so like white or like a ruby red grapefruit color type thing. So I have some azaleas now. And then I realized when I got home that I had accidentally picked up 2 of the 2-gallon azaleas, which were $20. So it's not a bad price, but it's not the size of the bushes that we wanted. So I wound up going to the other Walmart after dinner to return them and get more of the 1 gallon and the 2.5 quart size. So now I have, how many do I have? 2, 4, 6. I have 6 of the 1 gallon to plant. And then I have 4 of so I have 10. I have 10 azaleas to plant. So yesterday, that was what I purchased. So yesterday I got up relatively early and was able to dig the holes for the river birches, water them, then put the mulch on top, and then I put the pine straw on top of the mulch because the mulch is a darker color. So if I leave it be, it will just like absorb sunlight, and that's not great for newly planted baby trees. So had to cover it with pine straw. But I am very sore. Like just those two holes in Georgia red clay. And I am very sore. So I have 10 more holes to dig. Yay. But anyway, hello, welcome. Don't let me complain at you too much. Elizabeth says, hello, welcome. Laura is here. Hi, everyone. Hello, welcome. How are you and Roy? Monique says, the flowers have started to bloom in your backyard. Ooh, what kind of flowers? We have irises that are like now too heavy, and so they've fallen over. I think I've seen the first of we've got like a really strange colored iris in the front. It's like yellow into purple, but in the middle, it's like sort of like this weird, not appetizing color. This is sort of like a mix between green and brown that looks vaguely like something that you don't want to see. So yeah, I think we either have those or gladiolus popping up in the front, but they won't be ready for blooming for a while longer. Monique says, I came here after working on 3 chapters in S.T. Houston's dragon writing streams. Nice. You're just getting all the things done today then. Laura says, I have 1K written in my first draft of this Halloween paranormal romance. Nice. Also, you have lyric snippets for 25 songs for the 7 bands that you made up. You're putting them in chapter headers. So fun. That is fun. That is fun. Roses are mostly blooming. They've been popping up since yesterday. Our roses have not. I don't think Mom's rose has budded out yet. Don't think. But yeah. Have you already shared? I don't think you have shared here. So please share away. I am hoping to get another like 6 or 7 scenes. Like filling the skeleton out from the bullet points. So I'm hoping. Oops, and I need to turn off my ringer. Apologies. That's there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my document up and scroll it to the bottom. And I'm also going to go ahead and get up the bullet point outline in a different document. Ready for that? Okay. Laura says, woot. Excellent. Yes. Okay, so let's do the doggos first. Tuesday's doggo of the day's name is Eddie. He's a little annoyed. People keep asking him if he's dressed as Emily in Paris. Obviously, he is not. He is Eddie in Paris. So distraught, he forgot to order a croissant. So here is Eddie with a little beret. So cute. So very cute. And there's even a puppuccino that I'm not sure he should drink because it looks like it's more than just foam. But yeah, so there is Eddie. Very cute. And then today we have Oakley. He just arrived and he hopes that he got the right address. So 13 out of 10, you certainly got the right address. He's in a mailbox. So cute. So cute. He fits perfectly. That's the kind of package you would like to receive, right? All right. So there is that. We also need a card for the day. Laura says, 1 song lyric. Tresses fine as the silk of time wrapped round your effigy, a token of your broken oath, our rancid chemistry. Interesting. So are these like gothic bands? Or what kind of genre are they? Heavy metal? And Laura has another lyric. Shadows creep along the gothic windows of your soul. Be with me, O Queen of the Night, in the coffin lone. Merge with me, Carmilla. Merge with me, Carmilla, in the coffin lone. So Monique is immediately interested. What are these song lyrics? Question mark, question mark. These are the ones that Laura is creating for the bands in the Halloween paranormal romance story. The bands do range from gothic to alt rock to doom metal. Excellent. Fits the vibe for sure. Okay, we're going to pull the sandpiper. We have pulled the sandpiper today. Be playful. Here's our main message. Here's our sandpiper amongst the lily pads. Sandpipers are like cute little clowns, poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of the sandpiper spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage in playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with a lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new and the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun? The sandpiper's spirit is happy. They're the sandpiper's spirit. I'm getting my eyeballs and my mouth crossed. Sandpiper spirit's happy and curious nature can help you feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. So there we go. Sandpiper. Be playful. So if you have a fun project, maybe you could work on that today. Or if you have a fun scene, or if you want to inject a little comedy into your current scene, if it's appropriate, maybe even if it's not. Monique says the band's sound and lyrics sound cool. In Your Ex is a Vampire, you have a cyberpunk goth rock cover band called Sapphomite. Nice. The bands are made of entirely different creatures, ghosts, vampires, skeletons, gargoyles, etc. That is hilarious, but also great. Is there some sort of Halloween music festival that they are all going to be a part of at the same time? Because that would be quite fun. That'll be very, very fun. Battle of the Bands. Halloween style. I don't know what that would look like. But yeah, it would be fun. Some of the band names include Arsenic Lace, ooh, Black Shroud Banshee, Voodoo Corpse, Pumpkin Prince, Rattled Bones. These are fun names, Laura. These are great. Monique says, interesting. I pulled the Fool from your Buffy Tarot deck and it came up inverted. Okay. So inverted Fool. Foolishness, ineptitude, carelessness, maybe a bit of distraction or a bit of feeling aimless or unfocused, or maybe unmotivated. So the Fool is that, like, I'm going to start out on a journey. I'm going to make something of myself, like, even though you don't have necessarily any plan of how to do it in some ways. So the reversed Fool is sort of that recklessness, lack of planning, sort of exemplified in some ways, or just the fact that you talk about going, but you never actually get going, which is procrastination central. So the Fool inverted is what we are trying to combat here, in terms of like getting going. The guidebook basically says proceed with caution. Yeah, like maybe you've been proceeding without caution, and maybe like the next steps could use a bit of caution. So here's some more lyrics. You crave my hand around your neck, my nails along your back. If only you weren't a ghost hiding from me the most. You're imprinted on my fingers. Your feel beneath me lingers. Nice. Fun. Sounds like a fun project. So, where is the poll? Okay, I did change one of the poll options. So if you saw like an empty poll when you came in, that's why, because I decided to change one of the options. So Mondays was what does your secondary character think is their best attribute? And intelligence won. So I swapped out the first option for intelligence. So that was because Mondays was your secondary character thinks this is their best aspect. It may not be. And so 53, I think, % of our secondary characters thought intelligence was their best feature. So today's options, if you sort of mentally adjust the first option. So the options for today, what is your secondary character's actual best feature? Intelligence, loyalty, humor, or empathy? That's the poll for today. What is the secondary character's actual best feature? So that is that. I keep closing the wrong thing. I meant to close the folder, but not the image. Okay, anyway, fixed it. So we have our doggos. We have our card for the day. We've looked at our poll. I think we're ready to go. So, as always, I'll probably spend a couple of minutes in my bullet journal first thing, just because that's what I like to do. And I think I also want to start us off with maybe a beach timer. So, nope, here we go. Make it big, make sure my sound is on. Yes. Okay, and this will be the first sprint. It is a 25. So let's have a slightly shorter warm-up sprint. So 1, save your document, especially if you've already been working. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back. That posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Although it seemed a little quiet. Maybe I turned my physical speakers down. I must have. Anyway, hello. Welcome back. I got 431 words that time. Did not get through a full scene. I got distracted. I got very distracted. And have decided to switch gears. And so I started looking for a particular notebook. So, yeah, there's that. So, how much did you get done? What did you get done? Let's see. Reviewing comments for chapters 14 and 15. You went over the comments for 14. So far, your errors are mostly in terms of clarification. Glad that all the stuff you stumbled over is fixable. Yes. That is very nice. Weaver words. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. There we go. The same number of hellos. Carla is working on your Fictionary Story Coach certification homework. Ooh. Before starting book 4 of the Bear Shifter series. What is Fictional Story Coach certification? What is that? Is that for like becoming a developmental editor, or is it just like a coursework to work through your own editing? Focused on the art of story structure. So it is an editing course. And certification, though. To be a fiction editor. Did not know that that existed. But there you are. Thanks for letting me know that existed. Okay, so it's through through Teachable or through Fictionary or both. There's also School of Story Design, Story Coach. So is that like a state or national, or just like, is it different in multiple places? I'm just now curious about this. You are now officially a 2-figure author. Yay! Which is 1/3 of the way to being a 6-figure author. Yes, right. Yes, I love the way that you think about this. And Weaver Words is editing. This chapter is a mess. It has to happen sometimes. It does. So it's developmental editor certification. Okay, so there's a Reddit thread for it. Become a professional fictionary certified story coach editor. This was a year ago. So it's through their program and their software. However, it's applicable in a lot of ways. Okay, gotcha. Upon passing certification, you get a certificate, an electronic badge for your professional site, a listing on Fictionary.co's list of recommended editors, an announcement of your certification to the thousands of writers in the Fictionary community, and free access to all Fictionary live subscriber events. There you go. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. Okay, so now that we knew a new thing exists, which is fantastic, and go Carla for getting done. Excellent job. Working through it. My can is probably going to pop, so I apologize in advance. Yeah. So one thing I don't love about the Arizona cans, I love that they're big. I love that they're affordable. I don't love that the sound of cans. So apologies. Okay. So during this next sprint, I'm going to find the notebook that I want and do a little bit of handwriting in this plot bunny idea. And we're going to see where that takes us. I'm channeling the sandpiper and like switching to a fun, distractible idea. So that's just me. That's what we're doing today. At least for a little bit. So Kara is here. Hello. You've had an odious morning. Oh no. You're working on making sure your Medicaid doesn't drop off. What? They sent you conflicting emails and now you're having to jump through hoops. Oh God. Because they sent you conflicting information. Yeah. Yeah. Anytime my mom has to deal with health insurance, she gets super stressed. And I do as well. So yeah. Hopefully it won't take too much longer to straighten out. Hopefully you won't have to jump through too many hoops. And yeah, crossing my fingers for you because that's a no bueno place to be. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get better with Medicare either. Yeah. Yeah, that's what. Oh, joys. Oh, joys. Okay. When it works, it's great. Otherwise, it's frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, and my mom is complaining because she never knows like how much the prescriptions are going to be. She has a she has trigeminal neuralgia, which is a nerve condition. And so she takes a medicine to calm that. And it is a medicine that is typically prescribed for seizures. But she's been to neurologists and they have worked out that this is the medicine that works for keeping her pain under control and to keep that nerve from misfiring as much. So she can only use the branded version or like only manufactured by one company. So she can't use the generic. So normally her medicine comes in like a 3-month supply and it's well over $100. Usually like 150, I think. I think I remember her saying it was about 150. Anyway, her first refill for this year, it was like $90. She's like, one, is this the correct manufacturer? Can you double check that? And two, this is a 3-month supply, right? And she said, yes, but don't know if next time it'll be back up to the 150 mark. We don't know why it was cheaper. And then my dad's medicine sometimes will be not covered by insurance unless it's approved by the doctor, but the doctor's the one who prescribed it. So I'm like, is this worth the frustration? And sometimes his is like $12 and sometimes his is like $35. And it's just, it doesn't make any sense because it's the same medicine. Doesn't make any sense at all. And that's just that part of things. The day-to-day, like, or month-to-month premiums, and all of that kind of fun stuff are entirely different. So, Tina, hello. You're solving the same problems in your novel. Yeah. Yeah. We do tend to have habits sometimes when we write, and so we do tend to have to fix the same issue over and over again. I mean, maybe one day we'll learn, right? Maybe one day. All right. Do we want snowy birds or do we want bear hugs? Snowy birds or bear hugs for a second sprinty sprint? Carla says bear hugs. All right. Let's do bear hugs. Don't forget, the second sprint is the self-promo. So if you want to promote, now's a fantastic time to do it. So if you have books out, books coming out soon, books on sale, what was the last one? Books out, books coming out soon, books on sale. I've forgotten my spiel, y'all. If you have books, let us know where they are. And under what pseudonym if you have one. So what's the title and your author name and where can we find it? Your inhalers are anywhere from free to $60 depending on whatever hoop you jump through. Yeah, that's just not right. It's just not right. That, and I heard a story of a guy calling into NPR talking about medication, and he's diabetic, and he was talking about his insulin price. It had jumped up to, I can't remember if it was $80 for a small bottle or if it was an 80% increase. I think it was the $80 mark. And yeah, anyway. So he was very frustrated by that. So yeah, the medicines that are keeping you alive are some random arbitrary number that are pulled out of somebody's butt. And it's just, you want the magical self-editing sprint video? So you don't have to do it. I am afraid I do not know how to do that. I don't know how to code that into the video. I do not know how to do that. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew how to do that because then we could all just put it on and all of our stuff would be edited. But yeah, I don't know how to do that. So Medicaid will cover copays that Medicare won't. Also, Medicare doesn't cover certain medical supplies that you think they would, considering they work with both the disabled and the elderly people. Yeah. Yeah. It's like you have to have both if you have certain conditions, or as we are getting older, you want both. But then that means you have like double the amount of paperwork, double the amount of anxiety, double the amount of calls to make. Cause I'm like, it's not like I have to breathe. Who needs an inhaler that works? Right? Yeah. Dripping in sarcasm. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and do the bear hugs. And I will see if I can find the notebook, hopefully within 2 minutes. And then I'll be off to the races again. Okay, so 1, save your document. Save everything that you have worked for. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check and make sure that you are not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes of bear hug in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I found the notebook that I wanted to work in, and so I did start to work in it. I am doing sort of like different ideas in different colors. So far, I've used one. So far, I've used black, light blue, and like magenta. Now I'm on to navy blue. So four different potential ideas for plot bunnies. So how are we doing? I should cap my pen so it doesn't dry out. Ooh, Monique is excited. Chapter 15 is done. Hooray. Excellent. Good job. And now you're going to go make lunch. Fantastic. What's for lunch? Diane says, woohoo, caught you live. Excellent. Excellent. I've been seeing your master's studies, and you're very good. It's like I can only aspire. But yeah, so I'm doing okay. Definitely like not necessarily what I intended to do today, but that's okay. The Sandpiper said it was okay to play today. So we are playing with some potential plot bunny ideas, or just some shiny new ideas in general, and getting through some of them. So there we go. Let's see if we can get this up for Carla. Oh, my other R is not. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay. Maybe. Yes. Okay, so the TC does not have a space in between it. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So here we go. Here is Carla's author page on Amazon. Let's see. I see Dances in the Woods, Whispers in the Tide, Bound by Instinct, number 1. Bound by Hearth is number 2, and Bound by Trust is number 3 of the Bear Shifter. And then Echoes on the Shore is number 3 of the other series. So there we go. Okay, excellent. Ooh, Stacy's getting a new computer tonight. Yeah, so you should be back just in time for your birthday on Friday. Excellent. Fantastic. Wonderful. Hopefully your computer has everything that you are wanting for it. Like if you wanted a certain size, if you wanted a certain graphics power or motherboard or amount of memory, hopefully it's got everything you wanted, just like perfection. And it works. Elizabeth says things took an unexpected turn, so it's time for a new outline. Don't you just love it when characters go off the rail, or you realize there's a plot hole the size of, Kansas, and you're like, oh, time to fix this. So yeah. Diane sends hearts. Here's the link for Carla's pen name specifically. Ooh, Diane's eating a moon pie. Do you have RC Cola or just cola in general to go with it? Because I feel like you have to have cola with it. That's just how we grow. Either that or you have to stick it in the microwave. Like if it's cold with soda. If it's hot, you can just eat it like a s'mores, and you don't necessarily have to have cola. I don't know why my brain does that, but yeah, if it's cold or room temperature, you must have soda with the moon pie. If you microwave the moon pie, you don't have to get the soda. But you also like the cookie part of the moon pie gets kind of a weird texture when you microwave it. So anyway. Carla says moon pies count as lunch unless they're banana moon pies. I don't think I've ever had the banana moon pie. I think I always just like saw them at the store and then wound up getting the normal ones anyway. I did upon one time try the mint moon pies, thinking that they would be kind of like a thin mint situation. And I didn't love it. Did not love it. So anyway, but yeah. So in Carla's opinion, moon pies count as lunch unless they're banana moon pies. And then what does it count on? Like if it's a banana moon pie, does it count as dessert because it's fruit? Or what does it count as? RC Cola and a moon pie. Exactly. New computer, how exciting. Right? Stace says, I hope so. You're not completely knowledgeable, but it will have 1 terabyte hard drive. Nice. 16 gig RAM. Okay. That's not bad. That's a good place to start for sure. You could have more RAM, but then it doubles the price. Oh, yeah. In that case, the RAM is not worth it then. But yeah. Great minds think alike. Nice. If it's a banana moon pie, then it counts as me questioning your taste. Because synthetic banana flavoring is horrible. Oh, well, see, I like the banana Laffy Taffies and the banana runts. And those are the synthetic banana flavor. I like those. But I fully well know that it does not taste like a banana. So I just like the fake whatever flavoring that is. Now I would not go and like have a drink that has that flavor over like blue raspberry or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I love the strawberry fake flavor. Strawberry and blue raspberry are two of, I think, berry in general is a good fake flavoring. Grape, however, can sometimes really, really suck. Grape flavoring is sort of hit or miss for me. And so generally I just kind of avoid it because most of the time, if I am hoping for it to be good, it's not. So I think I take more offense to a bad grape flavoring than I do to the synthetic banana flavor. But that's just me personally. But then again, I also like some of the fake root beer flavorings. And I know that that is not everybody's cup of tea, but I hate licorice. So, I don't get it. Carla says, smile. You introduced your grandkids to moon pies. They had never had them. I'm glad you fixed that. I am glad you fixed that. What other sort of southern / vintage things have they never had? Have they ever had beignets? I've only had beignets once. And it was actually in Georgia rather than when we went down to New Orleans to visit. We didn't go get beignets then. I don't know why. I think we were just passing through on a trip. But one of the festival events at the town square, they had a beignet cellar there, and so I was able to have beignets, so I could check that off the bucket list. Bear claws I've had, apple fritters I've had. The ones that you can get in the mountains that are like by the inn, they don't buy them frozen. They like make them for your bread and breakfast. And I'm like, those are good. Those are like the best ones that I've ever had. bear claws and apple fritters. Just like on a cold, crisp mountain morning. Those are great. What else counts as like, I guess peanuts and Coke, but I don't love that. And then at the end you have like these soggy bits. And yeah, so that one I'm not really on board with. But moon pies, yes. Just like in general, biscuits. Biscuits and gravy, biscuits and jam, biscuits and butter, biscuits and honey. You know, some good biscuits go a long way. Funky, hello! Stupid work meetings need to stop happening during this time. I can just see you with your cup of coffee going, stupid work meetings. Well, you know, you gotta make the salary somehow, right? You gotta get paid. So we'll be around. It's okay. What is the thing that flickers and taps on the top of your bookshelf? Okay, so I have my ceiling fan is on. And so what you see at the top is the reflection of the fan on the plexiglass in front of my samurai. The samurai is a woodcut print from my friend Rajan. So she did that when she was in college. And then I have one other print, but my bed is not made, so I will not show you. From my friend Hannah. But yeah, so that's the weird flickering there. You may be hearing the sound of the chains, because they, with the rotation of the fans, they sometimes clink against the glass. Shade? Flute? What's the word for the glass part that goes around the it's not a lampshade because it's not. What's the name of that? It's supposed to help disperse the light, I guess, instead of just being a naked light bulb. But I don't know what that's called. Yeah, we call it a lampshade when it's on a lamp. But what do you call it when it's just glass? Like on what do you call it when it's just the glass bit? Oh, you can't see it because it's all lit up. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about. The thing that looks like glow. Yeah, but it's not enclosed, so I don't know. I don't know what it's called. It looks like the flower opening. I don't know what it's called. Maybe Lowe's will know, or Home Depot. Ceiling fan light. I don't know. Okay, that was definitely not what I don't know. Maybe it is a shade. Whatever. The thingy. The thingy that goes around the naked light bulb. Again, like sometimes I'm like, what is it called? Okay. Shade. They are called shades. Yes. They are apparently called shades. Even though they don't shade anything if they're clear glass. Anyway, whatever. Thingy. Change approved, right? Yeah. So Weaver is correct. They are called shades. So yeah. The laptop doubled in price if you went with 32 RAM or 2 terabyte hard drive. Could also be used as a tablet. Nice, but not worth double the price. Yeah. I think could be good. Yeah, I think so. Carla says, last year I bought moon pies on Eclipse Day for kids for snacks. Yay! Half were like, woohoo, moon pies. And the other half were like, what? Oh, those poor deprived kids. Oh, no. Stacey says, I don't know if I've ever had a moon pie. If you have, it was decades ago. You can get them at Walmart, and they are fun. As you know, but you have to have some soda with it. Preferably RC. Not always, but you know, just like the traditional RC cola and moon pie. Lexi says, hello. Welcome. Yes. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to cover it with my bun. I don't know if that'll work long term, but I can try. Ooh, chili and cinnamon buns. That sounds delicious. Maybe not together in the same mouthful, but yes. I would have chili and then cinnamon rolls, or cinnamon rolls and then chili and then back to the cinnamon rolls. Diane says, funky. Funky says, D-Bart. Nice. Elizabeth says, that reminds me, I promised my youngest nephew that we would make beignets. Ooh. And your niece that we'd make spice cake. Yes. We're going to be dessert heavy for a minute. I mean, you could make spice cake cupcakes as well. I don't know if that would freeze well at all. Probably not. Yes, the moon pies were a hit. You had to go get more. Yes. Funky says, I should spell it capital D, little b, art, because you're incredible painting. Yes. Carla says, I'm looking up good French-Canadian swears for my character who is proud of her French-Canadian heritage in book 4. I need good ones, but not necessarily offensive ones. Ooh. Okay. I do not know any French-Canadian swears or insults, so I'm sorry. I cannot help you with that. Stacey says to Carla, maybe check out Runkle of the Bailey. He is a Canadian defense lawyer. He also is on Law and Lumber's channel every Friday night. Law and Lumber. I'm going to have to check this out because that sounds fantastic. I don't know if I would get, well, I'm not monetized. Whatever. Murd. You like Tabernacle? He has these weird sayings that the chats call runkleisms. Nice. You gave up soda for Lent, so you're going to pass on that. Gotcha. You've been doing so good with no soda that you may make an exception for your birthday. Maybe. You're still thinking about it. You may hold off until Easter. Gotcha. Yeah, I figured it was something because it didn't make much sense to me. So, and then, well, they don't really have that much insulting or like, I don't think I've ever really heard them insult anybody other than like sort of joking between themselves. So yeah, I don't know that channel would work. So yeah, I don't have a recommendation. Sorry. The goose flies at midnight. The goose flies at midnight. So, Diane is sending Funky some secret message. Funky is responding. So anyway, let's go ahead and do another sprint. Like, it's now 2:49, so we've been chatting for a while, so apologies. But let's do another sprint. Do you want to do the hedgehog or do you want to do the snowbirds? Hedgehog or snowbirds? And then we will end the poll after that. I don't think I have a goose timer. Let me write that on my possible timer. We want more cute hedgehogs. Some goose. Funky Roger. Funky says goose. I'm pretty sure there is a goose call as a sound effect in the YouTube sound library, so I might be able to end the timer with a goose sound. So that could be fun. But yeah, but I do not currently have a goose timer, so I will have to see if we can fix that. But maybe not one with a picture of their mouth open, because the inside of their mouths are kind of creepy. In fact, the insides of birds' mouths in general are kind of creepy. Okay, let's do. Yeah, let's do hedgehog. It's cute. Why not? Okay, let's do the hedgehog. So one, save your document and all of the wonderful progress you may or may not have made. Two is make sure you have something to sip on. Cheers. Three, straighten your spine, roll your shoulder for that posture check. And four is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect timing. I just got finished with another page. Great. Fantastic. Doing good. Okay. I'm also sitting here mentally analyzing my handwriting. I'm like, ooh, girl, I need to do some writing practice. I've got inconsistent spacing. I've got Like I changed the angle at which I hold my pen, like to completely different grips when my hand starts to hurt, which means that my writing and ink flow is inconsistent. I've got little inconsistencies in like how I do the descending loops or tails. So like for G, do I do a fully closed loop or do I do just a tail? Or do I do like a more angular situation? Same thing for Y. Do I just do like a long straight tail at an angle? Do I do a enclosed loop? Do I just like come down and then curve? Like completely inconsistent across everything. Like when I'm writing cursive as well, my R's, like, do I go with a loop at the top? Do I go with a spike at the top? Do I go with nothing at the top? Just all kinds of inconsistencies across my writing. And I'm like, Anyway, that's a problem for another day. We are not going to solve that in one sitting. So Diane was cleaning off the work table and fixing the lights. Excellent. Yay. Elizabeth solved the dessert issues. You're doing spice cake today and beignets next weekend when they come back. Excellent. Now on to the outline. Fantastic. Andy says, hiya. Hello. Welcome. Lexi got 1,569. Fantastic. Wonderful. Andy, are you streaming at the moment or are you starting to stream? I need to pop a link in if you are. Funky says, Lexi came to write blazingly fast and chew bubblegum, and she was all out of bubblegum. And Jody, hello. Just finished 4 50-minute sprints and got 3,700 words and 2 chapters. Fantastic. It's amazing. Also, is this your new branding? Here it is. Nice. Lovely. Your new logo and everything. Love it. Love it, love it. Fantastic. So cool. Weaver says this chapter is nearly done. Excellent. Good job. Diane is excited to see Jody. Jody says, yes, that is the new branding. And Funky says, very Doctor Who-ish. It does have sort of like galaxy vibes in the background with the colorful background for sure. Yes. Again, how do I remember? Okay, here we go. So yeah, very galaxy starlight. I like it. There's enough contrast there that the letters and your author name come through. So it's good. It's good. Nothing gets lost in the space. Diane says, warning, still cleaning the keyboard. Nice. Excellent. Think Mission Impossible meets X-Men. Yes. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Okay. Funky says to Diane, blink twice if you've been compromised. Well, how do you know? How are you going to know if she blinks twice? Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I do need to pull up the poll for today. So Monday, we voted on what our secondary characters thought was their best attribute, and intelligence won. Today, we were voting on what is your secondary character's actual best feature. So we have 38% of our sorry, I'm so used to saying main characters. 38% of our secondary characters' actual best feature is loyalty, followed pretty closely by 30% is empathy. And then half that number at 15% are tied between intelligence and humor. So intelligence was a third place for what their actual best feature was, despite it having 53% of the secondary characters voted that their intelligence was the best part about them. So yeah. Let's see. Thanks for the sprinty booze. You're welcome. Diane blinks 3 times. Well, it's blink, blink, period, blink. And then another blink. Frankie says, oh, 3 and then 1. Roger. The goose has flown. The goose has flown. Yes. Okay, so Sundays. Sunday we are expected, Sunday evening into Monday, we are expected to have some weather events. So hopefully we'll still be able to have some sprints and the full span of sprints. But here is your sneak peek of Sunday's sprint options, or sprint poll options. There we go. What pet does your main character want to adopt? A feline, a canine, a reptile, or a bird? Some sort of avian critter. I could not find birds nor reptiles with sunglasses on. I tried. So. Funky's like, oh, now I'm lost. Tine's like, Funky, welcome to my world. Being lost and confused all the time. All right. Don't forget to save. Make sure that you are following, subscribing, and liking the streams that you go to, as well as commenting on people's evergreen videos that you watch. So Self-Pub with Andy, I think, is probably on. Is that right? Yes, here we go. Okay, so copy address. Where is it? Here is Andy's stream. And okay. Looks like Writing Mom Samantha is also live. So here's Samantha L. Nassett. Here's Sky. Let's see. That's at 1:26 p.m. Okay. Did it get canceled? I don't know. I'll pop it in. Let's see if it's. Pop it in anyway. Okay. Well, that's a couple that you can try out and see who's doing what and get some more written or edited or whatever. So you've gotten paint on case. Somehow that does not surprise me. Does not surprise me. Oh, Friday. You're right. You're right. This is Fridays, not Sundays. Sorry, I was thinking it was already Friday. No, Friday's stream should be fine. And that's the pet stream. So we're good. Never mind. My brain. Sorry, y'all. All right. So save. Make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Stand up and stretch if you need to. Take a break if you need to. Get a snack, whatever. Make sure you take care of yourself. And hopefully I will see y'all soon. All right. Bye.